Hello everyone, it's Brandon. I was going to do this as a live video, but I decided against that, and the main reason is because I wanted better quality. If I do a live stream, it's fine. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested to see a shot of the countryside this morning as I'm driving along, but excuse me, I'm trying to secure the phone. I've got my phone on the passenger side window, and I'm trying to secure it as best I can so that it won't come off while I'm driving down the road. It's kind of tricky, but anyway, normally when I would do something like this, if I do a live video, I would have a lot of stuff to say and whatever, but this morning I really want to study my Japanese while I'm on the way to the city. So I wanted to make sure that you just had a really good view and that it wasn't going to come off the window. So I think it's okay. I used some tape to hold it on the glass, and it seems secure, but we'll see. I'm in Toyosaka right now. It's just a little past 8. I'm a little behind schedule. I wanted to get to Saijo by 8 o'clock actually, but that was a little unrealistic because of all the ice that was on the van this morning. It took me a while to get it defrosted and get it ready to go, and then I had to stop and use the toilet. But now, as you can hear, my reverse signal, I am ready to roll. I'm sitting at 7-Eleven right now. Those of you who've spent any time here probably know exactly where I am. I think especially Evelyn, because every time she's come to stay here, this is kind of where we have to go to make bathroom trips, you know. I think during the warmer months, it's not a big deal to be coming down here and using the toilet because it's comfortable. It's much more convenient and comfortable using the toilet here rather than using it at the Kominka, because the only toilet that I have is in the Kura outside, and it's a squat toilet. So it's not that I'm against squat toilets. I don't mind it. The primary reason I didn't like it before is because it was outside. You know, the location is highly inconvenient. So if you want to use that toilet during the cold winter months, then you'll notice that it is very, very inconvenient to try to go out there and use it. So I would just prefer, until I get my bathroom ready, to just stop at the convenience store. It's only 5 minutes down the road. It's no big deal. And then even during the warmer months, it's easier to use the toilet outside. But now, because of the situation with my leg and my health, it's become much more difficult for me to use that toilet, because squatting down like that, I don't know how many of you have actually used a squat toilet before, or how many of you have been camping, and like real camping. I don't mean glamping, and I don't mean camping out at a campground where there's toilets or anything like that, or in a camper. I mean real camping, like you take a tent on your back, in your backpack, and you go out into the woods, and then you have to use the forest as your toilet. For those of you who've actually squatted down on the ground to use the, the ground is your toilet, you understand that if you're in good shape, it takes some getting used to. But if you have problems with your health or with your leg or something like that, then it becomes a big challenge or impossible. So if I really need to do it right now, I can manage it, but it's still very uncomfortable because my left leg has gotten a lot better. The swelling has really gone down to almost nothing right now. So that's quite excellent. However, still not comfortable for me to squat like that, especially for a long enough period to use the toilet. So anyway, there we are. Now I've got my other phone set up, and I'm going to listen to my vocabulary for, I think, lesson 18, I think, or lesson 19. Lesson 19. That's right. Mina no Nihongo. If any of you are really seriously looking to study Japanese, I can tell you not only what I'm using, but also that what I'm using is a very common and popular textbook for studying. It's what a lot of language schools use, and even my language school is using it, and that's what they're giving me my lessons through, is this textbook. It's called Mina no Nihongo, and Mina, it can mean everyone or everything, and Nihongo is Japanese, means Japanese. So Mina no Nihongo, I interpret that or translate that as Japanese for everybody. And that's just my interpretation or translation. I haven't approved that through a Japanese teacher or a Japanese person. And maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just how I interpret the title. But I am on lesson 19 today, and I'm going to start with vocabulary. Mina no Nihongo vocabulary. Vocabulary.
皆さん say that someone say お元気ですか Then reply with おかげさまで元気です Thanks to you, I'm fine ありがとうございます
おかげさま
で松本さん says
This is a good
あれ
phrase
あまり食べませんね You don't eat much What happened? ねあれ
あれ
あまり食べませんねでリサさん says 実は、ね、to tell the truth 実は昨日から、ね、since yesterday、ね、from yesterday ダイエットをしていますダイエットをします means I'm on the diet、ね、I'm on diet、ね、
ダイエットを に悪い。
な impossible
不利な。
調子 condition
調子。
調子がいい。
調子がいい。
調子が悪い。
調子が悪い。
一度 once 一度も never
一度も
一回 once
一回
一回も
一回
never
も
ね、そう same 一度一回一度もは一回もね、はい、だんだん gradually もうすぐ soon 何度も many times and 何回も many times ゴルフ相撲パチンコピンボールゲーム日これはねfor example 晴れの日ね the sunny day or 休みの日 the day of holiday what do you say holiday ね something 日ね休みの日とか晴れの日とかピクニックの日とかね so it's a day ね that's how we say it ねはい実は to tell the truth ダイエット means ダイエットねダイエットします means on diet ね to get slim ねケーキおかげさまで thanks to you 乾杯 cheers ね OK please stop the video and practice
OK ありがとうございました。
はい thank you so much for
練習18 Lesson 18 8:57, almost 9 o'clock, so I'm about 1 hour behind my schedule, but I'd say probably at least 30 minutes of that was warming up the van, defrosting the ice off the glass, and stopping to use the toilet at the convenience store. The other 30 minutes I made some coffee. I should have actually turned the hot water on and started making the coffee while I was getting dressed, so that ate up a little extra time, but I also decided to take a few pictures, but I'd say some of those pictures I took while the van was warming up. Just wasn't moving really fast, and I bought a 100 yen piece of or roll of electrical tape at 7-Eleven, so I could use that to put the bicycle guy kind of was coming into the crosswalk pretty quick, so I had to slow down a little faster and let him go. But anyway, I used the electrical tape to secure the phone to the window, and so that took a few extra minutes too. It's interesting how just doing a few little things like that can put you behind schedule. That's why it's very important to plan ahead if you really want to maximize what you're able to accomplish within a given day or a certain amount of time. Very important to make a plan so that you can be as efficient as possible. I just arrived at Hotto Kamo, which is the most popular bathhouse in Saijo, and because I'm here so early, it's very slow. The parking lot is only about half full, maybe, which is rarely the situation. If you get here early in the morning, or maybe really late, depending on which night it is, you can get a much nicer parking spot. But sometimes it's so busy here between the bathhouse and the hotel that you have to park very far away from the bathhouse, and it's crazy. I came here for New Year's to get my first bath of the year and it was so packed with people. It was insane. But surprisingly, most of the people there were younger guys. Obviously, I can't go in the women's area, so I don't know what the age groups were like in there. But I can say that in the men's side, most of the guys were young to middle-aged, which is usually not the case. Usually I would say it's like 80% elderly people in these bathhouses. Okay. Alright, yeah, you can see the tape. I had two pieces, one on the top and one on the bottom. That's all it took. And it stayed on. It didn't fall off. Well, the first time I put it on, it fell off. I wasn't thinking. I was standing outside and I had the door open, and I put it on, and when I closed the door, it fell off. So that was my bad. But after, I guess I can turn this around. After I picked the phone up, closed the door, I came around, got inside, and secured it from the inside. That way I didn't have to close the door and knock the phone off again like a big doofus. But anyway, this grammar, I'm sorry, I just looked at the video here. The next video in the list, the playlist, is grammar for lesson 18, Renshu 18. And when I looked at it, I saw grammar and I said it. But what I meant was the vocabulary I did for lesson 18. Wait a second. No. I keep saying 18 because that's all I studied all day yesterday was 18. So I've got 18 on the brain. It's Jukyu, lesson 19. So the vocabulary for lesson 19, I start off by listening to it and repeating it. Preferably, I like to look at the video so I can see the pictures, and it helps me to memorize a little bit better. But when I'm driving, it's better to listen and repeat the vocabulary than to not do anything. Or I would prefer to listen to like a podcast, like an audio book, or maybe sometimes even some music. But because I have so much study to do, I need to really maximize the amount of time that I'm studying. So rather than using a lot of time for books and music and stuff like that, what I do is I allocate most of my time these days to studying with breaks in between. So when I feel like my brain is fried, I try to take breaks. And what I've read is that if you can take every 30 minutes, if you can take like a 5-minute break, just get up, get away, look at something else, do something else, take your mind off of it, and then go back to your study, then you should do that. So today what I want to do is try to find an app that has like a reminder every 30 minutes, because after I leave this bathhouse, what I'm going to be doing is going to either like Dotor cafe or coffee shop, or one of these other cafes, and just get my computer, plug it in. They've got plugs for everybody there and Wi-Fi. I'm just going to plug it in and start studying. The first step of my study for my lessons every day is to, well, let me back up for a second. I have a review quiz that I have to do every day for the previous day's lesson. So technically that's the first thing I have to do, but as it relates to that lesson for the day, the first thing I do is I listen to and repeat the vocabulary, and then after that I play it again and write it down. I write down every vocabulary in hiragana, katakana, and then I write it in romaji, which is using the English or Roman characters to write the words, and then I write the meaning in English, and I write it all line by line. Sometimes I get 40 new words, and sometimes I get as many as 60 new words a day. It's absolutely insane, and I'm not joking when I say that it's frying my brain, because I'm having trouble sleeping. I'm waking up at night I find myself like trying to conjugate verbs in my dream, and it's stressing me out, and it wakes me up, and I'm not joking. I know it sounds funny, but right now I'm not enjoying it. It's not funny. Maybe one day when I look back, I can say, I'm glad I went through all that stress, because look at where I am now. I hope I can say that, but to be honest, right now I'm swamped, and it feels like I'm trying to swim in the ocean all day, every day, and with no rest. That's the way I feel. And but anyway, after I finish copying the vocabulary, then I'll watch all of the videos about the grammar. There are so many videos that cover the grammar, it's ridiculous. It's probably about 2 hours worth of videos, but it turns into more like 4 or 5 hours, and the reason is because I take notes on all of that. It really helps me to understand a little better what they're talking about, and to set me up to properly do the homework. But that's the main issue why I got behind in my lessons, is because instead of it taking me like 3 hours to do my lessons, and then maybe 2 hours at most to do my homework, it's taking me all day long. Because typically these lessons, if you do a regular lesson for a day, that's kind of what you're supposed to do. You spend 3 to 4 hours in a classroom listening and taking notes and that sort of thing, and then you get homework assignments and stuff to study, and then you spend a few hours doing that. So you might spend a total of like 7 or 8 hours in a day total on your studies. But that's not how it's working for me right now, and it's not because I'm a slow guy. It's not because of that. It's because the amount of stuff that I'm getting every day is not meant to be gone over in a day. It's meant to be gone over in a week. I mean, think about it. When you get 60 vocabulary words and 8 new grammar points in a day, it's literally impossible to memorize all of that stuff. So luckily for me, I have already studied a lot of these vocabulary words. So I would say overall, generally, and I've mentioned this before, I think I think that probably around 60% of the words that I've seen so far, I already know, or at least know a little bit. But 40% of those words I either don't know at all or don't know by heart. Now, I would say probably 10% I don't know by heart, and then the 30% I don't know at all, not at all. So if I get 50 vocabulary words, then I would say there's a really good chance that half of those words are going to be words that I either don't know, have never seen, or I don't know by heart. And that's a lot of words plus 8 grammar points to memorize in just one day. And you have to learn it good enough so that you can do your homework properly, because if your homework is wrong, then it shows you don't understand the grammar points. And if I don't know the vocabulary, it doesn't really matter, because I can look it up. If I don't know a word, I can just look it up. It's not a big deal. It's time consuming, but it's doable. But if I have a homework question and I have to change the form, just for example, because this is my main issue, is conjugating verbs. For those of you who don't know what conjugating is, it's changing the verb forms. So if you have a word like tabemasu, it just means to eat. So you can't just use tabemasu all the time, because what are you talking about? I am eating right now. I ate yesterday. I didn't eat. You can't eat here. Please don't eat here. There's so many different ways to use the verb tabemasu, and you can't just use that one form. So you might use tabete, or maybe tabe na kereba, tabe na kereba arimasen, or something like it. I'm serious. A verb can just blow up into this big extension, and when I look at it, my mind just kind of I get a brain freeze sometimes, because it's like, what am I looking at here? The combination of not sleeping well and having to study such a tremendous amount of stuff all day long, every day, it's at the very least, it's challenging. At the very least. And I hope that I can get caught up, because right now I'm a couple lessons behind. So what I'm hoping is that today, after I take a nice break here, I'm going to have a shower and a bath, bathe myself really nice, and then rest in the hot water for a little while. And after I feel refreshed, then I'm going to go down to the cafe with my computer. I got my bag in the back here, and I'm going to jump on it. And hopefully by the end of the day, before I go back to the Vira in Toyosaka, I hope that I can be finished with lesson 19 and lesson 20. And that would mean that I got caught up, and each day I don't have to worry about being kind of behind the 8 ball. Today's Friday, the 5th? Yeah, that's right. Today's Friday, January 5th. I was told that school classes are supposed to start back up on January 8th, which is this Monday. But I haven't been told anything about the details, like where I'm supposed to be, what time I'm supposed to be there, etc., etc. So I emailed the school a couple days ago, haven't heard back from them yet. And I tried calling them, but the lady that answered the phone, you can tell that the call was routed to her. It was forwarded to her home, because it must have woke her up. It wasn't early. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, but I guess she was up really late because it's a holiday. She answered the phone, and I tried to tell her I have questions about my schedule and questions about tuition, because I have to make my next payment sometime in the future. And she didn't understand both of the questions, but she understood the schedule question. So she told me I needed to email my sensei, and I did, but I haven't heard back from her yet. So that's another thing I have to do, is if I don't get an email by this afternoon, I have to try to contact the school again and say what's going on, because if school starts Monday and I don't know what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to be, that's no good. But anyway, that's pretty much it for now. I think I'm sorry. I apologize that I haven't been able to make any content that's interesting and especially with regards to fixing up the house and doing some repair. But to be honest, right now I'm just swamped with study. I don't have time to do anything else really, and anything else I do have to do, it puts me behind in my studies. So, but this was the best I could do for now. I wanted to kind of show you something pretty. I hope that it came out all right. The video came out all right. I'm probably just going to upload it as is because I don't have time to edit. So I hope you can enjoy it. That's all for now. I'm going to go in and get cleaned up, have a nice shave, relax, and then go get to studying. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're not stressed. I hope that you're happy, that you're doing what you love to do. And I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate your support. Any support that you can give me and in whatever way is appreciated. I'm not sure if I'll have the link in this video, but I do have links on my About page. If you're interested in giving me a tip or anything like that, then you can visit there and click on that. I did get a very generous tip, and it was right around New Year's or a little before, and I haven't had the opportunity, even once again because I'm studying all the time, to properly say thank you to that subscriber. And I will get around to that. If you're watching this video, you probably know who you are, and I just wanted to say thank you, and thank you to everyone else who has taken the time to come by and support me, or come by the house to see me. Like Michael brought his wife. I got to meet her yesterday. That was really cool. They're very, very nice people. Very nice people. And or comments in the comment section, likes, and monetary donations. All of those things are really appreciated. So thank you very much. That's it for now. As always, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, and ja ne.